This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM Saturday morning. Good morning, listeners, and good morning to producer Neil.
Good morning, Josh Widdicombe.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Who was the guest that gave you your full name?
David Baddiel.
Well, we should stick with that because he's one of the most high-profile guests we've had, and we've undermined that straight away. But last year I was on in Edinburgh, in fact, back to back with David Baddiel. This year we are back in Edinburgh, and the big news is, Neil, XFM, the live Josh Widdicombe radio show, whatever you want to call it, 9th to the 12th of August, has sold its first 2 tickets.
Have we?
Well, we might have sold more, but people have tweeted us to say, we have our tickets and we can't wait. You're quite nervous about this.
I am, yeah.
Because have you got a history and performance?
None whatsoever. I mean, if truth be told, within the capacity of this show, if I could have just an off-the-mic role.
Right, so you're doing this through gritted teeth?
No, it's. I like to push myself every day, and this is another challenge.
All right, Heather Small. Well, what have you done today then to make you feel proud? Proud, yeah.
I resisted the temptation to steal a Times from the first class carriage on
Did
my
you?
train in.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake because you could have stuck it to Rupert Murdoch while enjoying some top class journalism. Well, that's good. Also, you've booked your B&B.
Yes, I have.
You're living with a German family. No, I've made that up.
I'm going to be spending 4 nights in the spare room of a Spanish couple.
Oh, a Spanish couple? Wow, what are they called?
I don't know, I can't remember, but they've got 2 dogs as well, which is what swung it for me.
That swung it for you. It's amazing how different we are. What type of dogs?
I just know they're small, apparently.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So would you allow them in the bedroom area?
No.
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 Ellis James, who is on Sunday, once stayed in a B&B. He was telling me that there was an old woman with a dog and she couldn't catch him. She was just chasing him around his bedroom. But when he came in, the dog was just in his bed like it was asleep. So that's something for you to look forward to. 2 Spanish dogs. That was my favourite Clash song, actually, Spanish Dogs. Spanish dogs do. Anyway, there we go. I'm excited.
I am as well.
Genuinely. If you buy a ticket, tweet us at Producer Fernie and at Josh Widdicombe because we want to be sure that it won't just be the 2 of us. If you get too nervous about performing in front of the crowd, we could always position you in a different room and just have you coming through a radio.
That would be good, like the voice of God.
Like the voice of God. I wouldn't go that far.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM. And now we come to any other business. It's the listener's right of reply to pick us up on pedantic points they have about the show. Neil, producer Neil, will... that sounded like I was telling Neil, producer Neil, will uphold, which he tends to do. You haven't rejected one in weeks.
No, because, to be honest, we've got a lot wrong and listeners have pointed us out correctly.
Dear Josh and P-Neil, Peniel, first time writer, long time listener, my AOB is from when Josh filled in on The Breakfast Show. He was talking about CDJs, asking what they stood for. Would you like to just describe what CDJ is for the listener, Neil?
It's effectively a turntable, but for CDs, so you can spin back and scratch and all the rest of it.
Is this not a pun on DJ being disc jockey? And as the device uses CDs, it's really just saying they're a compact disc jockey. Love the show and listen to the podcast every week. Have also got a few friends into it as well. So can I please have a good morning shout out from producer Neil for my friend Joe and brother Craig?
I like the fact he's chosen his friend over his brother.
I think brother Craig is his local monk.
All right then. Good morning, brother Craig and friend Joe.
Amen. But I don't know. Does CDJ stand for compact disc jockey?
I'm not sure. I would guess it does.
Oh, E3. Dear Josh and producer Neil.
Sorry, just to stop you. You've not said who that was from.
Oh, sorry, Ben Stevens.
Yeah.
Dear Josh, I'm sure I did.
Don't think so.
All right, uphold your complaint.
Any other business for next week?
Yeah. Dear Josh and producer Neil, in Bonus Podcast 5, what is Bonus Podcast 5?
This was your best bits of when you covered the London XFM breakfast show.
Right. What were the bonus podcast 1 to 4?
Interview with
Reg
Hunter,
okay.
etc.
That's nice, isn't it? I like the way we've got like a catalogue numbers, like Factory Records. Have you got a catalogue number?
I'd be probably Fern 003 because I was a 3rd child.
That's what they should call you. Dear Josh and Fern 003, in Bonus Podcast 5, at 17.33 minutes into the show, whilst playing Messed Up Kids and talking about producer Dave washing his dad's car with a scourer, you mentioned the car was a Vauxhall Passat. I want to point out that Vauxhall have, to my knowledge, never produced a Passat.
Fact.
I'd like to believe that I picked this up in error, yada, yada, yada. 11 years of having a Volkswagen Passat. That's that anecdote. Josh and Neil, I'm somewhat ecstatic that I finally get to positively contribute to the show, albeit to point out a midweek breakfast show bonus podcast error as opposed to a regular Saturday morning mistake. I consider it an honour. Yours pedantically, Starry Girl, Hertfordshire.
Oh, she's got it bang on because my dad used to own a Volkswagen Passat. So I actually heard you make this mistake but forgot to flag it up.
Did you? You listened?
Always, mate.
Good luck with that. I'd love to say that that's good because I listen to your other shows. But I can't listen to the radio when I'm not on it for fear that I'll feel inadequate about our own show. If I heard you on a different show, it'd feel like hearing your wife with another man.
Hearing my wife with another man, what do you know?
Well, no. Well, I wouldn't like that either.
Okay, good.
Because we're mates. I'd hate to hear that on the radio. Do you want one final one?
Yes, please.
Tom Widdicombe. I'm a big fan of Neil of Fortune, and as a fellow father, I've set Neil a quiz about Postman Pat. Particularly relevant now because the newly released feature-length film about his adventures. In the film, narrated by Stephen Mangan, Pat gets to fly helicopters, takes part in a Simon Cowell-style talent show, and is used by his boss in an attempt to take over the world. Can things get any worse than that? Question 1. What is the name... Oh, I'll have the bell, please. What is the name of Pat's cat?
Jess.
Question 2. What is the name of Pat's local newspaper?
Village Times.
The Pencaster Gazette.
Oh.
Question 3. What did Pat order from Granny Dryden's catalogue?
I'm going to say some fingerless gloves for the winter months.
Incorrect. It was a digital watch, 1 out of 3. Neil of Fortune's not as easy as you think. If you have any other business, email them via the website or josh@xfm.co.uk.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Now we come to today's 2 topics, and one of them, producer Neil, has a slightly bleak nature, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Last week, you almost killed yourself. Not intentionally.
No, accidentally.
It's not like your sticker collection was going that badly. Oh my God, I've got another Luis Suarez.
I'm not bragging, but I had double glazing installed.
Oh yeah,
in my house.
Big shop.
I packed my wife and my child off to her mum and dad's and thought I will stay at the house while it's getting installed just to make sure it's all right.
Yeah.
And then I will just sleep there.
Yep, classic.
However...
Why did you decide to sleep there?
Just because...
Was there like open windows you needed to guard?
Well, if my head had been in the zone, I would have thought, well, to sleep here and to ventilate this heavily solvent-based house, I should open the windows.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I forgot, so I...
You're like a dog in a car.
Yeah. So I came into work the next day and people were like, your eyes are very big. Your pupils are like saucers.
Not like, just your eye, like, just
pupils.
your pupils. It wasn't like...
No, so I felt a bit weird, and then suddenly the world just started spinning and didn't stop spinning for about 36 hours, and I was vomiting and just felt
my
terrible.
word.
So solvent poisoning.
So do we know how close you came to the old Grim Reaper?
It wasn't that close, I don't think.
Well, that's that topic ended. But we're looking for ways you've almost killed yourself. Now that sounds bleak. So accidentally, obviously. I once got hit in the face with a crowbar.
What?
It was like a full Chuckle Brothers moment where someone had a crowbar over their shoulder when I was a kid. You see that dimple?
I thought it was natural, mate.
No. People pay a lot of money for that in Hollywood. It's just below the eye. If I'd been hit in the eye, might have a glass eye. No, someone had it over their shoulder and did the turn. Bang! Right on the cheekbone.
Did you cry?
No, because I didn't realise. You know when you don't realise what has happened? And then I didn't really realise till I saw the blood that it was quite bad. I once also put a knife in a toaster.
Don't do that.
No, well, I've learnt that to my... This was at uni. And the colour of the sparks that came out and flew across the kitchen was magnificent. No, it was like the Northern Lights. I've never seen such beauty, but I would advise to never sing that beauty. So what we look for are ways our listeners are have come close to death. We don't want anyone who's died. The other one... Not quite as bleak. It's called What's in Your Drawer? And it's based on the fact that I opened your drawer to your desk. And would you like to take me through the top of what I saw?
There was some tools of the trade, headphones, and then there was also a bottle of squash, a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah. That's a bleak combo, isn't it?
A small hacksaw and some varnish.
It sounds like you're the worst contestant ever on Ready, Steady, Cook. Well, it's going to struggle to make anything out of that, but we'll try. Probably use the varnish. Obviously, could use the squash and whiskey. That's one for next week. Can anyone suggest what they'd make on Ready, Steady, Cook? Obviously, you've got all the staples of the larder. They didn't call it the larder, did they?
Pretty much.
So, the two topics are what's in your drawer, ways you almost kill yourself, and what could you make from that on Ready, Steady, Cook?
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
We are talking about ways you've almost killed yourself and what you've got in your drawer at work. It's two ends of a very different spectrum this morning. We always like to start with someone who can do both.
Yes.
Simon Cross. This first one is genuinely unbelievable. I don't know. Number one, this is accidental deaths, presumably. Stuck my head out of a train window as a train passed the other way. That terrifies me. We've all seen that episode of The Young Ones. And oh no.
Did you not watch the educational videos at school you used to get?
Exactly. On educational videos. Have you seen the Bobby Davro one that you get shown if you join the BBC?
No.
That's one for coming close to death. They get shown it as a way and what not to do, health and safety.
Is it when he's in the stocks?
Yeah.
That is possibly one of the greatest videos I've ever seen.
I can't watch it. I find it so harrowing. If you haven't, can we tweet it?
I'll tweet it now.
It's part of the BBC health and safety video you have to watch if you join the company. And basically, Bobby Davro is dancing with his head in stocks. Things take a turn for the worse. Number two on this topic, in my drawer I have a Corinthian figure of Yap Stam signed on the head by Ian Wright. If you don't remember Corinthian figures, they were like small football figures with the larger head. They looked like you did when you came in after your poisoning. I don't know why you'd get Ian Wright to sign the Yap Stam figure. But I suppose if you're not going to meet Yap Stam, you take what you can get. I don't know if Ian Wright signed it as Yap Stam.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
XFM on a Saturday morning. That laugh you can hear is that of Nish Kumar. Good morning.
Good morning. Or is it?
Run yourself a bath and listen to a conspiracy theory. Nishipedia, in which you bring us one of your conspiracy theories every week.
Yep, and this one's a big one.
It's going right to the top.
Stephen King killed John Lennon.
Oh! Well, Mark Chapman does look... he's got glasses.
You've actually, at this point, in one sentence, given all of the evidence that exists for this. Because this is a major conspiracy theory. A man called Stephen Lightfoot has actually written a whole sort of 24-page pamphlet about how the CIA employed the young author Stephen King to murder John Lennon. And when you look at it...
Why did they do it?
I think this is actually common knowledge, but the CIA did actually have a file out on John Lennon and Yoko Ono on account of their kind of protesting of the Vietnam War. So somebody's extrapolated from that the idea that the CIA had him killed. But the whole basis, what it boils down to, is that when Stephen King was in his mid-20s, he looked a little bit like Mark Chapman.
So they won't release him because he doesn't exist?
No, there's an actor who played Mark Chapman, who presumably has produced the method acting performance of a lifetime as he languishes in prison.
Is there an actor that played Mark Chapman?
Well, that's who they're saying is in prison. So there's an imposter who played Mark Chapman, but the actual murder was carried out by Stephen King.
Why would you play that role?
I've absolutely... Well, I mean...
And then just have to be stuck with it for the rest of your life. It's like Adam Woodyat.
I mean, we were all thinking, is he going to say Daniel Day-Lewis? Is he going to say Robert De Niro? Woodyat?
But what I mean is Woodyat has had to play Ian Beale for 35 years.
You do know he doesn't have to play Ian Beale outside of EastEnders.
Yeah.
It's not just walking up to people in the street being like, oh, I'm just off to
I bet he does. I bet he does.
I stood next to him at a barbecue once.
Did you?
Yeah.
What showbiz barbecue was this?
I used to produce a breakfast show, and he was friends with the breakfast show host and Adam
So what was
Woodyat.
Woodyat's like?
I just remember he had a burger with tomato sauce.
Classic Beale.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah.
textbook
Still in character?
Beale. Still in character. Still in character, trying to engage people about what it's like to run a calf.
Did you remember, for a brief period, the CAF also ran it became a bistro in the evening? What an unlikely scenario that someone would go, you know, you got that Greasy Spoon Cafe. Do you think in the evenings that could be a bistro?
Is that...
For a start, they'd have had to get a licence for alcohol.
Well, I mean, is any of this more unlikely than Stephen King killing John Lennon?
You're going to have to do two.
What one do you want me to decide upon first?
I want you to decide whether Ian Beale killed John Lennon.
That didn't happen.
And did Stephen King kill John Lennon? Well, no, sorry. Does that go into Nishipedia?
Yeah, I don't believe it would. I think there's just too many. There's too many of something that I can't think of right now that is blocking it from being in Nishipedia.
Wow. Saddam Hussein's Stargate is in Nishipedia.
Unbelievable. Nishipedia lives on, but it's a tough old door to break now.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Joined by Tom Parry from
Yes.
Paddy's, and joined by show debutant James Bannon. Hello.
Hi, Josh, you all right?
I'm good, yeah. Do you know, we are the first person who we've had on the show that wouldn't say that their primary job was comedian.
I'd say that.
Would you?
Yeah, no. Not a lot of people would agree with you. No, it's not. No, it's not.
So let's start at the start. Obviously, you went. You're doing a live show now. You've got a book out. You went undercover as a football hooligan. You're a young policeman at the time.
Yeah, I did it. It was from 1987 to 1989, and my job at that time was to infiltrate, as it was, Millwall football hooligans. There was a real issue back in the mid to late 80s. It was looked upon, the way to deal with that was by using undercover police officers to infiltrate the gangs. And
did you have a choice?
Yeah. We always got a choice.
Yeah. Do you support Millwall?
I do now. Yeah.
Who did you support before you went in undercover?
Charlton. So I didn't. It wasn't really difficult, was it? I wasn't like Arsenal or Liverpool. No, it was Charlton. But I followed
you have to,
them.
gen up on the players?
Yeah, I did. I talk about that all that in my show. But I did. Sadly, the sergeant I worked with didn't. Which our first night was the biggest disaster in the history of the world in undercover policing. Well, he mistook John Fashanu for being lazy and white.
What do you mean?
And surprise, surprise, we got absolutely battered.
Wow.
So our first night out wasn't one of it wasn't bathed in glory. Let's be honest.
So did he stop being undercover?
No, he carried on, but he very, very quickly realised that he needed to gen up. And in his defence, he did a bit better. Wow. I think there was an underestimation by a lot of us really as to what we were going into. I did a lot of work.
In the film, did the character get a Millwall tattooed on? Did you get a Millwall tattoo?
I didn't get a Millwall tattoo. I was in the chair.
Were you?
I was in the chair with one of the other guys I was working to have the tattoo.
Yeah. And
I'd love to say that I decided that, that was a bit too far. It wasn't. I just bottled it.
Did you?
Yeah. I sat there and went, ooh, this looks like it's going to really hurt. And so I didn't do it. I didn't follow it through.
What would you have had?
Oh, to exactly. It was a rampant lion, and it was Division 2 champions.
So did you just do a runner?
I just went, do you know what, mate? I'm going to come back and do it. And they're usually,
they must see it all the time.
A tattoo. Yeah,
no,
people
of
come
course
in.
not.
No, people come in and this big rampant
I've got
big
Plymouth,
angel on your back.
I've got Plymouth Argyle playoff winners 1996 on my back.
The cup disappearing. It's
Plymouth Argyle 10 points deducted for financial irregularities.
Yeah. So ultimately, I bottled it, but it nearly.
So when you were undercover,
yeah,
Millwall went 1 Division 2.
Yeah, Millwall went up.
So you're the perfect glory supporter.
I am. I think that's why they want me back. I think.
Yeah, you were a good luck shot.
No, we had the era. John Docherty, and it was
Teddy Sheringham,
and Tony Cascarino, Terry Hurlock, who was the god. Glory times, really.
So were you watching the matches, or were you constantly going?
No.
Keep an eye out for.
It's a really. People ask me, what's it like? It's really difficult. To be a convincing football hooligan, you're not going to do that from the family terraces.
Yeah.
So, you have to. But at the same time, to be a convincing football hooligan, then you've then got the threat any second of somebody going, I recognise you from somebody, So you end up, basically, you.
I recognise you from being a policeman at Charlton.
I recognise you. I recognise you as having nicked me once, or I recognise you because I went out with your sister, or
Did you ever have any of those? Like, what was the closest call?
Yeah. No, we got accused.
We'll leave that hanging, Tom.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM, joined still by Tom Parry.
Hello.
It's quite nice having a wingman.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
no offence,
this.
Neil.
Yeah. I'm just like you with more enthusiasm, Neil.
Yeah. And James Bannon, who it's called Running with the Firm.
Yeah, I wrote a book last year, which came out, and no one was more surprised than me that went into the Sunday Times top 5, and seems to have struck a chord and has been really well. And then wrote a show based on the book, which I took to Edinburgh last year.
Is that you on the front cover?
I wish.
No, I was going to say, that beard is really... You need to get rid of that, mate.
No. Everyone is saying to me...
Who is is that guy?
I don't know. Well, I'm very jealous. And if, hand on heart, if I'd looked like him, do you think I'd been an undercover policeman? Absolutely no way. And I'm still absolutely adamant that the reason the book has been so successful is because lots of girls have gone, oh, he's quite nice, and have bought the book.
Is that? I'm worried for him. I'm worried he's getting attacked by hooligans. Going, are you that undercover guy?
I actually have tried to find out who he is to invite him to the show. I wish now, if I'd thought right back when people would ask me initially, I would have gone, yeah, of course it's me. It's just, I now look like this because I worked as an undercover police officer for 2 years. This is what you end up like. Some bearded nightmare with long hair, yeah.
Did you worry about going... Is overcover's not the word now, is it? Is overcover the word?
Overcover? What, and much going into...
Like now doing this.
I would say coming out, but
danger?
That's the wrong phrase. But like revealing yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was arrested, so there was no trial, so nobody went to prison.
Successful, was it?
Which was, yeah, we were a huge success. No, it was deemed not to be in the public's interest to pursue a trial. There was evidence. Blimey. And the operation was concluded on a 2-minute phone call. We got a phone call, 2 years of our, not just mine, but the other 3 guys' life, and they went, thanks, but no thanks. You can go back to Orpington and drive a Panda car.
That's how this my show on XFM is going to end, I imagine.
Just with a short phone call.
2-minute phone call.
2-minute phone call.
You think you're going to get a phone call?
Email, mate.
I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll just be somebody open the door and go, that's it, Widdicombe.
How you go, mate?
But everything aside, it's 25 years ago.
Did you end up liking them?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't like some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them I absolutely could not. I detested. But there were some that were really, genuinely nice blokes. There's lots of posturing.
I don't think I'd be any good at
There's
this.
lots of...
God.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to admit, I think you're probably right.
If you were to give me tips on...
Oh, Josh, you surprise us.
If I had to go undercover as a football hooligan...
What would my tip be? One word, mate. No.
Tom could.
What would you...
My instinct whenever I see trouble, like I remember Wolves Leeds, we beat Leeds in the quarter-final of the Cup, and they just started running out of the ground into the Wolves fans, swinging their fists, and my instinct is just to run.
Oh yeah,
straight away. It's just like
Leeds, my first ever away game. Leeds, first day. We get to there, we get in the train, we get off, we have a meet. We meet all the West Yorkshire's finest, all standing there. Great banter, really good singing. I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. Got back, got on the coach, which was on the way to the ground, smashed to bits. Okay, survived that. Making our way to the football special, and the lead service crew, which is their firm, start dropping out of the stanchions at the railway station. There's 2 of them were in the roof. Started shinning down the stanchion, and then over. No, honestly, no word of a lie. And there's 50 Old Bill, about 150 Millwall, and about 70, 80 Leeds running towards them. And I'm thinking, there's 50 Old Bill, we'll be all right. Who all turned around and legged
including
it.
You.
And legged it. and legged it.
Tough first day.
Or do you have to really just cut, do you have to cut yourself off? It's like,
I've had worse days, better days.
Yeah, good week.
No one likes the new boy.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM. Joined still by Tom Parry.
hello, hello.
James Bannon.
Hello.
I haven't asked you, James. I presume the answer's going to be no, because Tom is collecting the Panini 2014 World Cup stickers.
I am. Yeah.
So am I. Are you, James?
No.
No. That's why you don't fit in. You wouldn't fit in undercover with the modern football supporter.
I would be failing badly. It's about as good as I'm going to get is top trumps.
Nothing wrong with top trump.
no.
Imagine that if it was a book. Met up with the Leeds firm. Got need. Did some hard swaps. It was a strong meet.
We could do top trump firms, couldn't we?
Yeah. I really need his top boy. Have you got the West Ham top boy? I'm really looking for it. It's a shiny.
Got a pair of Adidas Sambas shiny. Neil, you are collecting. Now, Neil Age, what happened was I didn't realise. I said, are you going to collect the stickers? He said, no, because I've got a new baby girl. I can't justify the expense.
Right.
So we've appealed to the listeners to donate their swaps, and Neil Age recorded. It's got slightly out of hand.
It has got out of hand, yeah. I mean, let's put it this week. Some stickers came from America. A listener tracked down a British grocery store,
No.
found some Panini stickers and sent them across. Which,
It's $56 in postage.
Neil, if only I'd known.
yeah.
I feel really bad.
Yeah,
Anyone who comes to the Soho Theatre to see the show, Tuesday to Saturday, if you want to bring your Panini stickers,
There you
give
go.
them to me afterwards, okay?
yes.
You are going to regret saying that.
No, I won't. No. Come bring your Panini stickers. It's absolutely fine. I'm not saying I'm going to give them to you.
You can start your own. How's it going, Neil?
Been a really good week, actually. It had slowed down a bit, but as I said, Lauren from America, who is _negative on Twitter, not only did she send me stickers, she sent me sweets. She also let me know she's trying Angel Delight and Weetabix, which is...
We've discussed before, that's not just some kind
That's
of
not
weird...
just
This has
some weird
become a
thing.
genuine charity. They're sending in food parcels. Just because you've had a kid. What is this?
I know.
Do they think that you are genuinely in need?
I'm not going to...
Angel Delight. And,
Don't not Angel Delight, we might fall out.
Well, this is big talk, Neil.
Looking at you, Neil, I'm really getting worried now.
Anyway, apologies.
Apologies, that never happened in the firm. Sorry, Leeds. Apologies, mate.
Apologies, guys.
Misunderstanding.
I also need to say thank you to Ben in Plymouth, Matthew Lamb, who included a great note saying he got extra stickers because his wife flirted with the newsagents and got the freebies, which
I'm
was
not sure
lovely.
I'd be happy with my wife doing that. I mean, I'm not married, but...
Well, that's why.
Would you be happy with your wife flirting for stickers?
What, for Neil?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything for Neil.
Excellent. He also sent in a wall chart, which is good, so that'll be going up on the office wall for the sweepstakes that we've got going on.
Amazing. The amount of things.
And finally, Ryan Hammer.
Great name.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Ryan Hammer
I
sounds
bet
like
you
someone
Ryan
you'd...
Hammer.
That is a
From the
cool
firm.
name. That is a cool
That
name.
sounds like someone you'd met back in the
Ryan
80s.
Hammer. Has he got a middle name?
Let's get Ryan Hammer down there.
Actually, I've done him a disservice. I can't read my own writing. His name is Ryan Harmer. Which is even
yeah,
better.
Still.
Yeah.
Middle name Self.
So I just need to say thank you to all those people this week.
And how many stickers do you need?
I don't know. I think I'm 74% done, apparently, according to an app I've got.
I've taken 23 off you today.
Are you enjoying the experience, Tom?
There's nothing like it. It's pure nostalgia when you get the rip in the packet and finding the shiny and tracking down the elusive. I still need Stephen Gerrard, and then I'm completed on
So
England.
do I.
Yeah, he's elusive.
Got him, guys.
Don't we all?
Yeah, we do this summer. Come on.
Mate, we need a miracle.
I think I've said it before. I'll say it every week. England will get to the semi-finals of the World Cup this year. I'm not saying getting overexcited, but I bought a Euro 88 England football shirt and a World Cup 1990 England football shirt with 19 on the back off eBay.
Beautiful.
So we need to play at least 2 games. Because
You're doing that.
it would have to go really badly for us to get knocked out before the end of the group stage.
As long as you watch the friendly with Peru,
yeah,
we're all in. Oh, game on.
If people want to donate to Neil Aid,
Neil Aid, XFM, 20 Leicester Square, WC2H7LA. If nothing else, Neil Aid has taught me the postcode of work.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
still joined by Tom Parry
Hello, hello.
and James Bannon.
Hello.
Now, James, one of our topics today.
Yep.
Neil almost killed himself last week. Well, not intentionally.
Nearly poisoned myself with solvents because I slept in a house unventilated full of brand new double glazing and
Now,
wall filler.
accidentally killing yourself, obviously, presumably that's a topic you've...
I did nearly once.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
What
yeah.
happened?
Do you remember when everyone wanted shiny, chromy light switches and sockets? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And,
No.
oh, right, okay. Well, you wouldn't, but it was like... Anyway, trust me, there were people. Anyway, so I decided to do some DIY, and I got the Collins DIY book out, and I looked up on it and did all that, and turned off the 6-amp fuse, got to the light switch, took it off, got the thing, and there was like a little bit of bare wire, and there wasn't quite enough for the new switch that I was going to put on. So instead of using the handy wire strippers that were just down there, I thought I'd use... a lot more efficient than using my teeth.
Oh no!
No. But what I did is I checked the light switch to make sure that it was, and turned the light switch because I turned the 6-amp fuse off. Test the light switch, and the light bulb didn't come on. What I didn't realise is that the light bulb had blown.
Oh no!
And that this lighting circuit was on a different 6-amp.
Oh!
For a very split second, it was actually quite funny. As I bit
I'm not going to lie to you, it still is.
as I bit into the cable, and it then welded itself to my lip.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Fillings were like rattling around.
Oh!
And eventually, I got this, and all I did is when I came, as I said to the missus, I went, and she went like that. She went, "Thank God you weren't doing the 13-amp socket, because you probably would have blown my head off."
Oh my
man.
word. Wow, that is... Shall I just run you through?
Imagine surviving 3 years undercover as an undercover policeman, and then
you
just
blow
doing
your head off with a light switch.
DIY.
Let's see.
Oh,
Let's see
mate.
if listeners can top it. We'll go through some listeners. Tom, you can decide whether they beat that one. Vicky Brading. I nearly choked to death on a piece of lamb. I remember thinking, this is not how I want to die. I mean, that's nowhere near,
That's
is it?
nowhere near, no.
I fell off my grandpa's moored boat right through a tiny gap between boat and jetty. Dad pulled me out feet first. That happened to my brother. We were on
the water.
Well, no, that was from Kitty, by the way. Thank you, Kitty. We were on a narrowboat holiday, and he was pushing the boat off, but then it's the most superhuman thing I've ever done. The boat started moving away from the shore, and he had his 2 feet on the shore and his hands on the boat, and he was going more and more horizontal. And I, in that situation, would have just fallen. He, in what was the most superhuman, uncharacter thing, pushed on his arms and got vertical. It was
amazing.
Pushed himself up. You know, like they say, when you're in trouble, you get more strength.
Yeah.
That was the most proof I've ever had of that.
Wow.
2 more. Daniel Whale, I challenged myself to swallow a grape whole when I was 7.
Great call.
Heimlich manoeuvre.
Oh, amazing.
Oh. And I think this is the winner. Andrew Darrington, as a kid, I nearly fell off Mount Snowdon. If it weren't for a plucky ginger kid, I would have died.
Like that.
It's the only details we have. I don't know.
I like the lack of details. It makes it more impressive.
But I think the 6 amp.
Well, I'm going with the plucky ginger kid, mate.
The plucky ginger kid. I picture him with a barrel of rum round his neck. Running to the rescue.
Crampons.
yeah. Crampons. Barrel of rum.
Thank you for all the listeners' interaction this week. You have, as always, been brilliant.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is more or less the end of Josh Widdicombe on XFM for this week only, obviously. Unless there's something I haven't heard about.
Unless you get the email.
Unless I get the email.
2-minute phone call.
2 minutes. It won't take 2 minutes. 2 minutes for me to stop crying. So, just to plug what you have come in, what you are up to at the moment, I'll just check if I want to plug anything. I am in Hertford Theatre on Friday. That's it. That's all I
Not
want.
a free week.
Oh, no, I've got other things that... I'm doing QI on Tuesday. Very exciting, isn't it? So if you want to come down to that. But, I mean, that's not really... I'm sure they'll get an audience. They're not going, Josh, can you plug for tickets?
I'm not going to do my Soho show. I'm going to come and see that.
So I've got that's the only thing worth. I'm doing a preview of new stuff on Wednesday the 4th. Yeah, but I'd come to the 6th because that's actually funny. Tom, we've already plugged, but you might as well.
Yeah, Badults is out on Monday on BBC 3 at 10 p.m. So tune in.
And James,
At the Soho Theatre, 7 o'clock on Tuesday through to Saturday, doing my one-man show, and then the paperback book comes out. The launch of that is on the 5th of June. That comes out and that's available pretty much everywhere.
are you having a launch party, or do you do that for the hardback?
My launch party for the hardback. This is how much how popular they thought it was going to be. I was at Blackwell's in Edinburgh, in the basement with a Stanley knife, opening up a box with 30 copies of my book in it, which I signed, and then just stuck a sticker on saying, signed copy.
What a party! You didn't even have a glass of wine.
That was it.
Oh, wow.
And I walked out and I went, living the dream.
This is it. I've made it.
Neil.
Well, this XFM show with your name above the door is going to be in Edinburgh, 9th to the 12th. So please buy tickets for that.
Please buy tickets. It's at 10:30 p.m. in the Assembly Rooms, and it is basically a live version of this show with all the regulars.
Wow.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah.
It should be fun. Neil's himself because he's never been on stage before. It's only 250.
And I get to stay with the Spanish family in Edinburgh for 4 nights.
Yeah, so it's going to be great.
Is that part of Neil Aid? Live life free. Give everything to you free.
I bet he's not got a kid or anything.
No, it's all lies.
Then he walks out of here and gets in the limo and gets driven home to his house.
It's all paid for, yeah.
Let's not spread that because I want the stickers. He swaps with me. But it's probably true. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in.
Cheers, Josh.
Pleasure. Thank you, mate.
Cheers. See you again next week.